can see pretty easily how someone could get from sort of a general natural theology, like he posits a personal God who's involved in our lives and answers prayer as the best explanation for sort of the majesty and complexity and beauty of like the DNA replication process. I mean, something this beautiful is at least much more probable if God exists than if God does not. And Huberman goes further, and I think he says it's incomprehensible how this could be without the existence of God. And I think it's a short step from there to, at minimum, at the most conservative, say, okay, well, if there's a personal God who may be involved in our lives, I'm going to, C.S. Lewis has his famous metaphor of faith is the ocean and religion is the map. And the map is what other people who've gone before you have found out by sailing the real ocean. And yes, it's less real than the ocean, but you're going to be lost at sea if you don't look at the map. And so it's a small kind of conservative step to say, I'm going to read the Psalms because the Psalms are just one of the most historically renowned collections of people grappling with and crying out in yearning to this personal God that I see revealed in nature and my prayer life. So maybe God isn't even the God of Jacob, but I'm at least going to start with the Psalms. That's a good starting point. And, and then from there, I think there are rational reasons, even if you don't get into the resurrection, let's say, to treat the God of Jacob as sort of your plan A if you're investigating theism, because here is this God who declared through his prophets millennia ago that he was going to be the God of all of the nations, that all of the nations were going to acknowledge the Jews in the midst of them as the people of God. And he declared this when no one on the planet except the Hebrews in the Levant, in this little corner of one continent, worshipped God. And sure enough, a majority of people in the world today profess to worship the God of Jacob in some form. So if there's a God, if you just grant, as Huberman does, there's a personal God involved in our lives, that by itself, I think, before you've even looked into the resurrection, before you've looked into what Jesus said, that should make the God of Jacob your plan A.